Today we will cover development approaches. Development approaches are used to create and evolve the product, service, or result during the project life cycle, such as predictive, iterative, incremental, adaptive, or hybrid. There are three main development approaches: predictive, hybrid, and adaptive. The predictive approach, also known as the waterfall approach, is great when the project can be defined, collected, and analyzed at the beginning of the project. You see this a lot. It starts off with a template. This is common in construction and government projects. It's used a lot when there are significant amounts of risk that may require frequent reviews, change controls, replanning during the development process. Scope, schedule, cost, and risk must be defined early in the process. This allows the project team to reduce the level of uncertainty early on in the project because the planning is done upfront. Hybrid approach is a combination of predictive and adaptive approaches. This approach is useful when there is a high level of uncertainty and risk within the requirement. This approach uses iterative or incremental development to help clarify requirements and investigate options. An iterative approach is a development approach that focuses on initial, simplified implementation and then progressively elaborates, adding to the feature set until the final deliverable is complete. This is used to clarify requirements and investigate many options. This is used to try ideas, clarify the scope, approach, and also the requirements. An incremental approach is an adaptive approach in which the deliverable is produced successively, adding functionality until the deliverable contains the necessary and sufficient capability to be considered. An incremental approach is also produce a deliverable throughout a series of iterations. Each iterations adds functionality during a predetermined time frame, also called a time box. For an example, I'll give you two different examples of hybrid approaches. Project number one, your project manager tasked with developing a custom AI application for an HR department. Once you're completed with developing that custom AI application, you have to train that HR department within a week. That's one example of a hybrid approach. Having the first project, you're progressively elaborating that project, that application, and then you have a finite fixed time frame to complete that final deliverable. A second example, your project manager tasked with developing two deliverables for a pizza restaurant. The first one is a custom mobile application that will allow customers the ability to order the pizza locally with a 10-mile radius on the iOS or Android market. The second deliverable is a flyer, using a template that you previously already have for a buy one, get one deal. And those are two different examples of a hybrid project. On the opposite spectrum, you have the adaptive approach. The adaptive approach is more useful when there is a high level of uncertainty and volatility, such as in IT projects. A clear vision is established at the start, and initial known requirements are refined, detailed, and changed based on feedback. The adaptive approach uses both incremental and iterative approaches. Iterations are typically 1 to 2 weeks. The project team is engaged with planning from each iteration. The project team determines the scope they can achieve based off prioritized backlog, estimates of work involved, and works collaboratively throughout the entire iteration. If you are interested in receiving more resources like this video, please scan the QR code seen on this screen. This will direct you to our webpage where you can access both free and paid project management resources.